Jacksonville University. It's the ASUN Women's Lacrosse Championship, and on the line is a trip to the NCAA tournament. The number 1 seed, Jacksonville University, and the number 2 seed, Coastal Carolina.
Coach Mindy, if you want to
welcome
us in again.
Should be a great game. I'm Ray Carnicelli, joined by Taylor Marshall. Got some firepower.
So this is a rebroadcast of the championship game, and we're going to be commenting on it. And I'm Coach CP. In this game, I was coaching the attack and the transition.
And I'm Coach McCord, and I am player development coach and helped with the substitutions. And it was a really fun game to watch. I'm looking forward to it.
I think you're also the head coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah.
the head coach.
Head coach.
Carolina. Right now, the teams are being introduced, and talk about some.
I'll hop in. Coach Britt, assistant, helped with transition and defense this game in particular. Coached Ashton, Lily, and Erica, and Jenny at the time. Pretty cool. And Ray, thank you for commentating.
Oh, my pleasure. It was exciting to say goal Jacksonville 42 times that weekend.
Well, this is a rematch actually from the 2017 season when it was a 1-goal game and it was a real nail biter.
I'm Ashton. I was one of the captains along with Lily Miller, who's on this call, and Emily Barton. I think I'm doing the right year. Oh gosh, that's a.
Oh, there's some serious eye black.
I guess I'll go. I'm Lily. Like Ashton said, I was a captain this year and a junior, I believe, 2018.
Oh, you were a senior, I think, right? No, junior.
Oh, junior.
Yeah.
I thought this was the game I was sick, and I was like, I'm not going to have much to say, but then I realized this was junior year. So.
Yeah, that wasn't a good time, Lily.
Confused this game too, Lily, with that.
The nail biter game, Lily was sick. I remember that thinking, oh man, when you have one of your top midfielders sick and you're playing a good team, that's never a good thing. But only Lily played and I think scored a few goals maybe.
Yeah, Lily Miller had 1 goal.
What a stud.
In the first 15 minutes.
Bill and Jenny?
Yeah, I was number 19 on the team. I was a junior then, and played with Lily, Ashton, and Jenny. So.
I'm Jenny Kinsey. I was number 12. Well, I still am number 12. I was a freshman at the time, and this was my first ASUN tournament, so it's pretty cool to have it at JU.
I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but when I went to Syracuse and I was calling games for the ACC network, one of the first games I called was Coastal Carolina versus Syracuse. I had to go to their hotel when they were all eating breakfast to talk to the coach pre-game, and I'm not kidding you. This is probably going to cut out, I hope. But they all stopped their breakfast and just stared at me for 10 minutes, and I was like,
well, that coach sent me a nice text saying you did a really good job broadcasting their game. How about that?
Yeah, she was really nice. I actually really enjoyed talking to her, but it was I felt like it was too close to that ASUN game and then I was like in the lobby and it was just really awkward.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Got the old unis in this game.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, we used to have to stretch those boys out.
I was squeezed back in the day.
Those were tiny.
Pop out.
You want to
Hey,
talk to us
Bill,
about that
good thing you
process?
don't got to wear them now.
How did you stretch that out?
We would the old locker room days.
Put it on your knees.
Yeah, put them in your legs.
Pre-game dance party stretch.
Yeah.
Ashton, remember when we were I think it was the NCAAs, and I got stuck with a small skirt, and you were begging people to switch with me?
Yeah, I was like, this cannot happen.
I was like, please, anyone.
It was the black uniforms we were sharing a room, and Freddie
Black one.
last pick at the sizes on the skirt, but we needed to do some switching because that wasn't going to be good. I can't
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, that was so funny. I was like, if I fall the wrong way, this isn't going to be good.
Those black uniforms are way too small.
Were you guys nervous in this game? Feeling the heat, the competition, like Coastal's always a big rival. What were you thinking about this matchup?
I guess it's always a little nerve-wracking because, I mean, it's a championship game and championship games carry some pressure, but I think we always play well on our home turf in the heat, and I think we always have like kind of performed against Coastal. It's always competitive, but I think we knew we had a bit of an edge.
I was nervous because our goalie had been concussed for most of the season, and this was like her first or second game back. It's always like, like she was concussed most of the year. Is she going to be okay? But Emily Palma was our goalie. She did a good job this game, pretty much.
Lily Miller with the first draw control here.
I guess one of the questions I have is, was there any fatigue based on the Thursday game, a 17-4 game, or were the coaches able to get the subs in and have the team rested and ready for Saturday for the championship?
Oh, I remember being tired, but that's just like, I think what we're used to because we played a lot of double games in a weekend.
Yeah, I think with the championship game, like you might be tired physically, but it's a championship, so you're going to put your all into it. So I think none of us really, that just kind of gets put behind us and our adrenaline always kicks in.
We were like adapted to used to playing like a game and then rest 2 days and then play another game. Plus it was a championship game, so you're just ready to go.
And when we play our semifinal games, if we get a lead, we try to rest our starters for that next game.
That was a rare miss there, Ashton, on a free position. At the time during this year, you were #1 in the country in like free position percentage. I remember that.
I actually missed the free position I just took. I would.
Yeah, that might have gotten you the award at the end of the year.
No, I mean I missed like watching it on the screen. So I missed both parts.
Lily?
And how exciting that Erin is playing another year of lacrosse.
I know. She's feeling it there.
Interesting why they didn't put a person on this left hash. We have free movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Or some of the rules were different.
And we hit a pipe there. It's
We
like
still have free movement.
you couldn't move on inside the 8 meter though. Inside on 8 meters.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that rule was a game changer.
Yeah. Made free post so much harder.
Oh, I like the ride here. Like we do a good job of clogging up the side, and then here comes Bill.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill.
Hammer hands.
Hey.
It's on her hand.
I didn't have a cast.
Hey, we got it. That's all that matters, Bill.
Yeah, that's right.
Shot and score.
There it is.
Ash. Coast to coast.
Great finish.
That's what we're known for, is getting the ball on the ride, causing turnovers, and then celebrating them.
Done.
Jody.
Jody and Katie.
Jody, love that dunk.
Iconic.
Now, was this the year, guys, that we went to Coastal in season and we lost, correct?
Nope.
Was that 2018 or was that 2019? What year was that?
2017.
Oh,
I
I'm
remember
off.
it was
Okay.
a close game though when we played them. I think it was like not close like in score wise, I don't think, but it was like tough. Like it was a good game.
The one at Coastal, Jenny?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember being like
13-11.
on the sideline like screaming so loud.
Yeah, 13-11 was that one.
Yeah, that was close.
Oh my gosh, I remember that game. A girl broke her stick on my arm and I got a yellow card. I've never seen Coach Paul so angry.
So Lily and Ash, how did you guys get so connected? Because it was almost like in this game, you just were like playing with one brain.
I think just honestly from playing so much, once you play with someone consistently for 3 years, I guess at that point, you learn each other really well. And yeah, I think we were always just on the same page during this season, especially.
Yeah. I mean, Lil and I play very similar styles of lacrosse anyway, so I think the fact that we played 3 straight years together and we love both playing fast, midi, fast break style lacrosse, I think that helps as well.
Yeah, you just saw that connection right there too with off the draw, Lily to Ashton. Ashton getting the draw control, pushing the break, passes over to Prescott. I mean, you can just see that you guys had a really nice connection. Now, Ray, what is it that you remember from this game?
Well, obviously it was the number of goals, just both ways, and the quick off-ball movement and great passing from Jacksonville University. And when we saw it in the semifinal game, what was it, 17 goals in the semifinal game, and the team just turned it up a notch, and you could tell that they were playing at championship level. That made it really exciting to call. A lot of goals.
Yeah, you must have been tired after that one. 20.
Between the semifinal game, the championship game, and I called the men's game where I think they might have scored high teens as well. So I think I said Jacksonville goal, probably 60 times that weekend, which is fun.
It beats the alternative.
Yes. So I would ask the coaches, what is your target shooting percentage? When you go into the season, your metrics that you judge the team by, what do you shoot for on the shooting percentage?
I think we're really looking for 50% overall as a team, but your top level scorers are probably a little above that, and your midfielders are probably a little bit below that based on the energy demands of the game.
Because at this game, you scored 25 goals on 49 shots, so that's just above 50% team wide in a championship game. That is really impressive.
Really good.
So, a big reason why we were using Lily against this team on the draw was because Lily has a lot of strength in her upper body. She has some great power, and we wanted to use her versus their pushers. So their team had 3 strong centers that could get underneath the ball and like to send it to the outsides of the circle. So we thought Lily would be a great counter for that, because with her pull, she could send it to our offensive side, but she could also open to the defensive side to where Ashton was. So it worked out really well.
That was a great look on the crease, and there's Alyssa Arnold again. Just as a freshman, I think, Coastal probably had Ashton scouted and probably had Lily, and Sarah Elm scouted some other players on her team, but this is just a great inside look from Aaron, and good patience on the shot.
Oh, look at this. Nice C-trap.
Yeah, so C-trap is, we call that defensive zone C. There's A, B, and C. And so when you get a trap in there, it's a C. We call that a C-trap.
Try to make her use that right hand. Good strong move in front, just wide.
Nice hands. Way to jam up her hands, Bill.
Yeah, Bill?
Yeah.
You gotta step on me, but it's all right. Gotta, keep that double wide stance, like Coach Paul says.
This is 6. I think it's 4-2. It's 6 goals in the opening 5 minutes, and that was kind of the pace of the game. It just goals kept on being scored. It was kind of a scorer's day, not a great defensive day, not a great goalkeeping day. Sometimes that's the pace of the game.
It is interesting that with the free position rule change, because now everyone has box outs on the defenders.
That's true.
Yeah, and you can't be in the wedge, Gibbers.
Oh yeah, that's different too.
Yep. So definitely a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Coach Paul and Coach Mindy, when you see a game at that tempo with that many goals, do you focus on just keeping your foot on the gas, or do you try to go back and dial down the defense a little bit? Because are you perfectly content with having a track meet?
I like the run and gun game. I think you should always keep attacking and never play defensively. I think when you get down to knowing how to manage your clock, you know, you could take more possession time, but I think that gets people more on their heels, and then that's when teams come back in lacrosse. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, Coach P, Paul, when you look back at this game, does the 19 goals stand out at you, or is it strictly we won by 6?
You mean the 19 scored against?
Allowing 19.
I think honestly, I think it was just kind of like the nature of the game, and we really, here's the situation here. There's three shots in 10 seconds. So we just take 3 shots in 10 seconds. None of those 3 go in.
This doesn't go in either.
We
I
had
remember this so vividly.
Kept getting it back though.
Ashton, you're just so fast though. Like you beat 3 people up the field. Is this the year you beat like our team, probably besides Lily, by 50 yards in the run test?
Oh.
Yeah. I is because I remember I was next to you as a freshman, and I'm like, you're lapping me. I'm like, I'm coming.
Yeah, we definitely we were man up there, and we must have taken like 4 or 5 scoring chances in about 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the pace of this game was almost like, you know, time stood still if you're on defense. You know, if you're on offense, it's like you just keep shooting.
Oh.
Jacksonville attempted some deception in those extra.
You always made that goalie look good by shooting right at her.
Yeah.
I think I do it too, Lily. It's okay.
Don't you love it when you're running down, you think you can like hit top corner, and then you just hit her right in the chest, and you're like, it's not what I was going for.
She was scouted for that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Wow, Lily had a snipe.
I like to think that the next shot's going to go in. So like we had 3 or 4 opportunities that last possession, none of them went in. So I'm thinking the next shot's going to go in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just percentage wise, we're too good at shooting to not score eventually.
This is good defense because they're man up, and I can't even really see where the extra girl is.
I think we're man up, or I think we were. Now we're even. Oh, look at that. Another ground ball for Bill.
Yep, Bill.
Bill, you were on the all-tournament team after this game, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well said.
Priest defense.
Yeah, priest defender. Yeah. Me and Kenzie Groark.
Didn't even break a sweat.
No, I'm just kidding. I was sweating.
Back to back too. Weren't you in the year before that too?
Yeah, when you were sick, I had to step in, man. Send it to Mitty.
Just point out here, Bill, that was 2 defensive stops in a row in a game where there weren't a lot of defensive stops. And, you know, we come right back, hit a pipe, get the ground ball. It's, you know, we were looking so quick for goals. Then there we go.
Yeah, that's nice.
We were just really aggressive at seeing what was available at all times.
Yeah, we saw him. We took it.
And that's Alyssa Arnold. That's a hat trick in 10 minutes for her.
Yeah, and Bill, those possessions were big because with it just being 4-2, they had a good opportunity there, right? It puts it at a tie game, and it gives momentum to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
The most important part of that possession was after the initial shot, Aaron McGuire picking up a contested ground ball and then turning and seeing what was happening and finding Alyssa, because Alyssa's girl had gone towards the ground ball that Aaron got, and it really created a good look on the backside. I think your Lily and your team on offense was really good at finding the backside quickly.
Yeah. Lily, we had you pushing this game.
Yeah.
Damn, we really diversified.
Can't do that anymore.
Hey, I will say we were pretty good. Oh, sorry, Bill.
No, I was just messing with her.
We were pretty good, guys, at the alumni game. I mean,
I think so.
Yeah.
Shooting was a little
If it didn't rain and was so muddy, we would have had him.
Oh, that was
we're not the best.
No. Adele bodied you.
Hey, there was a charge. I like that. Meg gets a charge. Meg was a freshman here, Meg Prescott, and she used to be really great at taking a charge. Her junior year, I didn't see many charges, but in this game, she might have had 2. And they're marking you. They're marking you out, Ashton. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
We had a good number of freshmen playing in this game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Because Jenny, Alyssa, Megan.
Oh,
Sarah had a really good game this
Now
game.
that's a rocket.
Alyssa.
That's a
that's a
great
good
rocket
dodge,
shot.
Lil.
Yeah, Lily.
And then this was back when the goal didn't count.
Oh,
Oh, did I make it?
I hated that rule.
Yeah, that was the worst. I'm glad they changed that.
It's like it
Oh.
jinxed you.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, Lily.
Remember that? No goal, but then they save you on the bad angle free position later.
That was the worst.
Yeah. How about you just take the outside hash instead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that magic with interception? Oh my goodness.
Ash.
Running gun.
Uh-oh.
Megan
Boom.
and
Boom.
Nice.
Free.
Sarah Holmes is on the board.
Well, sorry for that goalie when Sarah Owens is 1-on-1.
I was playing A-mid, and I remember so many times in this game, like, we'd score before I even got into the attacking zone, and I'd, like, still sprint down and be like, yeah! Because I was glad to celebrate.
I remember you doing that too, Jenny.
And then I'd, like, sprint back off the field.
a couple times. You'll like see you run in and be like,
Yeah, but I had to get my runs in, you know?
That Lily.
There's Jenny.
Job.
Nice play.
Good shot.
Lily, Ashton, Sarah. That's a good combination.
I love
right
the
there.
replays.
Yeah.
They're the best.
And the commercial.
Everything looks better in slow-mo.
Yeah, this was really a good quick look.
Alyssa again.
You
Yeah.
sneaky down there.
2, 3.
Oh my goodness.
Great positions, uncovered to great position. Alyssa Arnold with 3 goals with 19-16.
Nice. So Ashton, tell us what you're doing now as an alumni and where you've been since.
Yeah, I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and I am a news reporter at a station here called Channel 19. So I work the morning news, so I work from 3 a.m. in the morning until noon, which is a really glamorous lifestyle, as you can probably imagine.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a multimedia journalist, which means most of the times I don't have a photographer. I do everything on my own. So I shoot, edit, write, I do my live shots most of the time on my own. So.
Oh, we missed that last shot, but that was a Twizzler shot by Olivia Alvarez. It
Let's
was
see if
really
we
a
get
neat shot.
A replay here.
Yeah, I watch the replay.
You see that replay.
Back to the cage, receives that pass. Goalie just
The
really
fans seem to like it.
We had a lot of fans.
Our fans.
back
Yeah.
working hard over there on the tactical sideline, lifting the goal.
Back then.
It's a bench press, I think.
Nice feed.
There we go.
Look at that feed, man.
Backhanded shot.
That was a really nice shot.
And that feed was from Arnold, so it's like the Arnold show.
Oh, look at fan
Lefty-
fans.
lefty handshake, secret lefty handshake.
Jacksonville is 7-2.
There's Danielle. Rocca, our still all-time leading scorer in ASUN history.
Temporarily, I think, but
Yeah, she got lucky this year.
She gets another year.
uh,
Another year both.
Pandemic gave her another year.
Sarah gets more games to play.
One's going to be awarded to Jacksonville, so 7-2. Quick start.
Yes, Lily, way to get up the field.
I love this look here because Ashton's being marked out and she just comes on a full head of steam and
Yeah.
cranks it.
that's beautiful.
You remember that goal? Ashton?
Yeah,
She was flying.
that was fun.
We have the best game plan for you being marked out.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you say that again, Coach?
run really fast.
Yeah, we had the best game plan for you being marked out. We're like, stand by the restraint line, just run real fast and beat her.
Byron who made that pass upfield, and then she just followed her pass.
Yeah, that girl had marked me out before as well, so we knew each other pretty well.
Look at the speed here. There's the contact. Shoots through the contact and just a
Yeah, it's like an
well-played
end one. In basketball, you get a free throw for this.
here.
Yeah, 30.
Wow.
Even in slow motion,
Yes.
you could tell that it looked like everyone else was standing still, and she comes flying into the scene.
Pretty sure when this goal happened, Coach Paul like looked down at Coastal and then like threw up some guns and then did a little spin.
Out of here. I don't do that stuff. I might have looked at you and done that. I mean, that's what coaches do. You celebrate your success and have fun, but I wouldn't do that to an opponent. I think unless that opponent was a good friend of mine, then it's kind of all good.
That means Harold's getting different looks. She's got to process the different styles, the different techniques. Now that time, Coastal's going to be awarded the ball. Jacksonville still bringing the heavy pressure, staying on that double team.
Oh, good work, Megan.
Good.
Wow.
Hey, at the end of the first quarter, it's like 8-2, so that's a good start.
Ooh.
Is that Bill?
No.
Knock people down? No?
I think it was.
I think it's
Chloe.
Yeah.
Got some space right there. Just
Yeah.
took a bad angle.
What the heck?
Ran right up the leg.
Oops.
Down hard to the turf.
A handout. What did I do?
Selvage likes that possession. She doesn't like to see one of her top scorers hit the deck so hard.
Yeah.
Jimbo. Across to Bush. Bush controls. Over to McAvoy. Jacksonville's so quick to help. A little too quick.
Oh,
There's
same spot
Poma
again.
with the save. Little goalie interference, I believe.
There.
Good chance, but Poma goes stick on stick and makes the big save on the doorstep.
Yeah, it almost looked like Jacksonville went into a backer zone. That weak side, crease open.
That was the backer zone, all right.
You watch the stick level for Poma right there. Just matches the stick
Forgot
level.
to cover the
makes
open
the
player.
save. Good reception on that shot, and Poma held her ground.
Good job,
Here's
Poma.
Jacksonville back at the other end. A little bit of a force. Good patience on the sideline to keep that ball inbounds first and then pick it up.
That's one thing Alyssa's really good at is like protecting the ball and saving different opportunities we can get.
Jacksonville gets the ball back in on offense. There's Elms.
Little darts.
We started off in motion, so we were doing a lot of movement and free movement all over the place, and we went to more of a set just to try to control it a little bit.
Good defense. That's a great
Control
job
the clock some.
by Durasanio. Beat shot and a save by Barrett.
That was really a great look.
Great snag by Barrett.
That was
Great shot by
turkey.
A little overzealous.
Couple of nice saves.
Lacrosse, you have those looks that are like bang bang looks like that, and in that case, like you can't really say anything bad about the play. It was a nice save, but we were maybe half of a second late on the feed, but it was such a good look.
Goal.
Boom,
Does a little
boom.
bait again.
Yeah.
Down at the other end, we saw Poma match stick for stick the whole time. That was Harley Barrett.
Oh, I thought that was a charge so bad. I wanted that charge, and instead we got carded.
Making a nice save. It's a little riskier. You have to react pretty quick. It shows a lot of confidence to try that.
The referee had to explain to me why that wasn't a charge.
Days now here in the ASUN tournament.
Looks like the refs are.
Oh, well.
Like it could have been a
Yeah,
charge.
you were definitely not happy, Coach.
Now what are you gonna do? I think the charge call is probably like the most missed call in the game, and the block call. Like you see blocks called as charges and charges called as blocks, and
Shove to the back.
okay, she gets pushed. She pushes her. If
She
she
ran right into her.
if Alyssa hadn't pushed her, it would have definitely been a charge. But from where I was standing, I couldn't see Alyssa behind her. Alyssa didn't need to make the contact, I don't think. But what are you gonna do? It's a game. Sometimes you make contact like that.
Good call
The
by the refs.
referees all weekend have been tremendous.
Yeah, not too many controversial calls. I thought.
Oh, we got two. Wait, we got two?
Yeah, this was.
They double carded that? The girl who got the charge got carded too? All right, so maybe that's why I was like, what is going on here? So we're 2 players down now. The girl who got run into and the girl who actually pushed from behind. That was interesting. No, no, 2-man up.
Never been called for that. So Coastal
I
Carolina.
think we usually
trailing.
play some of our best defense when we're 2-man up, though.
I know, isn't that crazy? It's like we really overcompensate.
We're focused. We're dialed in.
We're like, we want to play man down.
Yeah.
You have to really anticipate, you know?
See what's next, yeah.
And it's so rewarding when you win those defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So funny, like there's another foul. The foul's 3 seconds. I don't know. Like when you're 2 players down, why would they even call 3 seconds? You're like running all over the place trying to cover the extra 2 players on the field.
Yeah, I saw it earlier, and I was like on number 2, and then I don't know.
Interesting.
No play shot
That
by
was
number 30,
interesting.
Sophie Crowder.
Passed off the free position shot and
Yeah. Wasn't she on the center hash as well?
Yeah, she was.
And that's one of their
What?
top players. I'm shocked.
she had a good look, but maybe they had it Palma scouted because Palma was so good at free positions. Like maybe they just knew they had to move the ball there.
Whenever you get the goalie moving, whether with a dodge or a pass, you see the goalie have to shift from her left to her right, and it just a well-played shot in the upper corner.
That was a good jam by Mackenzie Grorik getting off the line there. Kenzie was a phenomenal free position jammer.
These teams at even strength approach the midway point of the first half. Jacksonville on top of Coastal Carolina by a score of 8-2 in the ASUN Women's Lacrosse Championship with an
So
NCAA.
Jenny, how was it winning your first championship? Because this was your freshman year.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I think it was really special that I was at JU, so like we didn't have to stay in a hotel, and like all of our parents were there, and it was just really exciting. I remember like pouring the like Kool-Aid on, or not Kool-Aid, but Gatorade on CP after, like trying to distract him.
That was you?
Well, my job was to. They were like, Jenny, go distract CP. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, do it. And then someone came into the cooler.
Hey, there's your dad.
Yeah, he was there. I think my mom was there somewhere. She usually sits in the regular stands.
Again, for future social distancing guidelines as we go into the new year, look at how cool those Adirondack chairs are. That would be perfect.
6 feet
We
apart.
can space them so they're.
Yeah, just space them a little bit more, but seriously, like that's perfect social distancing. The only place you see more empty seats would be like a Jaguars game.
Oh.
And a good way to get those changes started are off the draw control. And
Absolutely, this is what they need.
Haley
I love that our attackers fight so hard from behind.
first time ground ball.
Oh, big ground ball. Jackie Benedict.
Trying to escape their defensive end of the field.
Ground ball.
Jackie's always that gritty kid who runs out there and she's like making havoc. You know, Jackie goes out and her freshman year she ran on the field and would just foul right
What a
away.
catch.
Yeah, wow, that was a bomb.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
But Jackie always such a gritty ground ball kid.
Pretty and gritty.
Setting up their offense.
As Coach Britt would say, eating them.
Hey!
You said it first.
Gooding Auditorium. How funny when we used to watch film there, and we were like,
Oh yeah, when Phil was in Gooding.
yeah,
That
we
was
were
like,
Gooding or something.
Back in the day.
That's all I know.
job back.
It's
I-
interesting because my freshman class is like the like last class to have had a full year in the like field house and in DCOB watching film. Like we're like the last of it, and we're gonna be seniors next year.
Yeah, that's
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so funny to see us without having the Rock Lacrosse Center now. Like we didn't have that during this game.
No.
Mm-mm.
We're so tight in this offensive set.
Body on body.
Yeah, they stopped marking you out and went into like a really close D. And it stopped us for a little while. Like we're feeding stuff and we're not quite in rhythm. And they did a great job getting that ground ball and getting out.
That barrage by Jacksonville.
Yeah, this is a rule that was bad for them here. They should have just let her clear the ball, you know?
Yeah.
But they brought her back to that spot. I'm glad that rule changed.
Really slows down the game.
Yeah. And it totally disadvantaged them. Like they had a fast break and then they made them come back. It's like, yeah.
Mhm.
Now they're back at the 30-yard line again.
Yeah, that's definitely to their disadvantage.
Yeah. Certainly makes us work harder because we get to ride more.
Yeah, man, look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had a shot clock this year too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
The offensive end. It's Kiger. One more pass, shot, and it's
Oh.
a save. Great save. It's going to be a
Wow.
charge.
We're charged. That's Mackenzie Groark, queen of the dirty work.
Step in front. Well
That's a
timed.
great charge.
Established position.
I mean, Mackenzie always did a great job of putting her body in a position to make a play. She works smarter, not harder.
Number 30 for Coastal had hurt us a lot. She's a good player. I think she's the
Oh, wow, what a charge.
a great charge. Bel Air, Maryland. Even her goggles fell off, which was timely, you know. You want your goggles to pop off on a good charge.
So many defenders won't take that risk and sacrifice their body positioning for that.
Yeah. Not Rourke. She was all about it.
Offense.
The Coastal had a number of good midfield players that had hurt us in the past, and that was one of them right there. And Mackenzie did a great job.
Coastal to keep the Dolphins out of that center dangerous area.
We have one of their A middies trapped over the line here, playing D.
Megan.
Meg goes right after her.
This is some good ball movement.
Yeah, we're moving it quick.
Yeah, we were very disciplined, I remember, offensively.
Oh,
Sets.
that was
well.
such a nice split.
Yeah, Lily.
Lily's got the best split dodge in the country.
Step down split. That's
I
Lily.
still tell people that, Lily.
Oh,
I believe it 100%.
If you are a lacrosse player watching this, watch this replay. Hopefully it shows up. Learn this dodge from Lily Miller.
Yeah, that step down split dodge. I mean, you got to have two hands to be able to do it. Lily was somebody that was a master of it.
You just froze people.
Did you you went right to left there?
Yeah.
Right? Which usually people go left to right on that side.
Because I usually, when I went to my right, I would be too far out of an angle.
So, Lily, you played on a really good club team. Your high school team was not as good, but your club team was one of the top ones in the country. And I remember when you committed to me on the phone, I was like, yes, we got someone from that club team. And you were such a good club player. What did you think coming out of high school that you needed to work on to be ready to play college lacrosse?
I guess since my high school wasn't as good, or like it wasn't as competitive, and I kind of had to do it all. I honestly focusing more on attack because I played so much defense in high school that it was hard because like I would go from club playing with a great attack to high school that wasn't a great attack. So learning how to play with other people and learning how to work with other people, I think was important coming into college since I knew I was coming onto a team of 30 girls who were all incredible. So it was definitely interesting transitioning from both.
I remember your freshman year because you played every minute of your high school career. I remember your freshman year, you would jog and I would yell at you and be like, don't conserve your energy. You're coming out every 5 minutes. Stop conserving your energy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then you really became a rocket ship. Like here you are, your junior year, you're just flying around.
Yeah, learning how to pace yourself and push, but then take breaks was important.
Very similar to
Oh, Sarah.
Wow.
Initiate contact, but she's not
That's my favorite part of the game, draw to goal. You know, score off that
Sure.
transition.
So fun.
Well, remember, like we had gone like 4 minutes without scoring, you know, and it seems like forever when you're watching this game. But in our offense, it is forever. In this case, we just scored back-to-back goals in 20 seconds. So it's like, okay, we hadn't scored in a while, and then boom, boom, 9-10. You know,
That's typically what you see in our box sports is we get these runs, these big runs.
Yes, I can rest a little bit. Next thing you know, There goes Ashton Hiring right down, calling for that ball back.
Flying Hiren.
Dynamic player.
One of my favorite hashtags. Flying Hiren.
You made that hashtag, Coach. That's why you like it.
You don't like it?
I do like it.
Okay.
It's creative.
Again, as you mentioned before, most of the draws
Yes,
are going
Casey.
Nice grab.
Jacksonville gets it into their offensive end.
It's not going to take long.
It's a combination of good defense and defense, and not a great decision there.
Another great ground ball there. We could have lost it. I think Casey Stevens on that one. And then boom, right back down. How much time did it take for us to pick up that ground ball and then bam, bam?
Comes up with it.
And Ashton did such a great job of knowing, okay, well, they over pursued the ground ball, so the backside's probably there. And
Really good IQ.
Find an answer for her.
I don't know what goal that is for Alyssa, 4th or 5th goal.
Attackers have been dangerous as well. You got to look at the tendencies of play here right now.
Jacksonville's definitely had a
I
couple
live for these like slow-mo replays.
sideline celebrations. Creativity. Here's that long pass.
That was great vision, Ashton.
Arnold was
Thanks, Coach.
wide open.
Really knowing where
Decent defense, but she
where
doesn't
the
need
open
much
player was.
space.
Kind of a bit of a hospital pass as well.
Buddy pass. Hey, buddy.
Lucky Alyssa's tough.
What I like is you were a senior and you're trusting a freshman in this game. Like you're moving the ball to her without hesitation, which is really awesome.
I mean, if you're playing in a championship game with someone, you can't hesitate. If they're open, you gotta trust them.
Fun to watch. The passing was really on point. We always say passes come from the heart, you know, like if you love your teammate, like give them a good pass. Like that's
Look at the
really important.
speed.
Waiting from her left to her right. I find myself.
I think it was smart to put Sarah Elms on the circle for some of this game as well.
She doesn't need much of an angle. She's
Yeah, Sarah's a player that wants the ball.
Yeah.
Put her there, she's gonna outwork everyone, and she's got amazing possession skills. So it worked out really well.
And
Having
she's
the three
so
of you.
strong, so when she runs through the ball, like it's hard to get around her.
Our passing really was patient and very incredible in this. I mean, super. Just really super.
That's a foul there, but I thought that today Coastal Carolina's
Sarah took a hard hit on that one.
Yeah, most people can't take down Sarah Elms.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Down.
Pretty good power. Another nice save by the Coastal goalie here. She's really keeping them in the game because we've been peppering them with shots, and you know, she's kept them to 11.
I'm pushing it
Doesn't sound great, but it actually is a pretty good job here.
Phil, is that you riding the ball?
Oh no!
Oh no,
Yeah.
not again!
Oh,
Did we forget,
Oh.
Coach Britt? Did we forget the middle in this defense? Was this
Yeah,
this was
hence,
the donut?
hence why I'm transition.
I bet our middies didn't get back. It wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times that was the
Our
case.
backside defenders did not rotate down.
What
and
was
in.
going on? It's like a donut hole defense.
Well, look, the two crease defenders are focused on the players at X that aren't dangerous.
No,
yeah.
they're not inside focus there.
Yeah.
JLI has been wonderful for me. Going back to my playing days, it kept me on.
Jeff.
Oh, way too far.
Oh.
There we go.
Coastal Carolina 4.
So Lily, what do you do now? You're like the assistant of. You're like the assistant president now.
No, not anymore, really.
Oh.
Tell them what
That
you
time
did
was
after-
cut short.
tell them what you did this past year.
This past year, I was a graduate assistant for the Office of the President, which later kind of transitioned into the Office of Campus Experience and Strategic Events. So I got to work closely on a lot of projects that dealt with students, such as commencement, Charter Day, those type of events. I got to begin planning them. Didn't get to see them come to fruition, but I got to do all the pre-planning and things, and then just working with events that helps senior leadership and students interact. Did a lot of planning with that. It was cool.
And you're finished your MBA now, right?
Yeah, I'll finish in the end of August. So by this August, I should have it hopefully.
Good job.
So the rest will be online, which is crazy, but it'll be good. Yeah.
Do you plan to stay in Jacksonville?
I'll probably come back here. I'm here in Maryland now. I came home in like mid-March, and now that everything's online, but I'm gonna come back to Jacksonville this summer. But yeah, I don't know, wherever I can. I'm doing a lot of searching right now during this quarantine, a lot of LinkedIn, connecting with people, researching different jobs. So it'll be interesting.
Lilith, we probably need a career development.
I was gonna email you, Coach. I was getting a little stressed. I was like, I need some Coach Mindy career development time.
What kind of jobs are you looking for?
I'm looking a lot into project management now, or like a product manager. I'm like researching into that, but obviously I'm gonna apply to anywhere I can, because I know my first job might not be my favorite job or like the best, like my lifelong. So I'm not too pressed on finding, my forever job, but that's what I'm looking at right now.
Nice. My advice would be look in a place in the country that you'd enjoy living, because a job's a job mostly.
Yeah.
And look for a place that you can work with a pandemic.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'll be looking for a job probably during a time when everyone is looking for a job, because a lot of people unfortunately got unemployed. But so yeah.
Check came in well timed just as the shooter was making that attempt.
So we go in kind of like as a team, we kind of go in a lull here. We kind of get a lead. This was the story of this game. That's why there were so many goals, because we had a chance to go up by 10, but we kind of went on a lull, and then they'll come back into the game, and now it's 11-5. So this kind of happens in this game where we get this comfortable lead, and then we kind of relax for a few minutes and kind of let things happen.
Coastal Carolina chipping away. 11-5 is our
Coastal's a very gritty team, so they're going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, no doubt. You can't play, you can't play 50% and expect a team like Coastal Carolina to not take advantage, and they certainly do here. Nice little back cut. There's number 30 again. I was glad when she graduated.
She's a good player.
Yeah.
She's a good player.
I think her name's Sophie Crowther, I think her name.
Yeah.
Good player. Good, gritty player, tough. She's the kind of player that we like on our team, like just hustling, ground ball player, but she also scored a lot.
Pulled back. Good opportunity for Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Oh. That's a tough call when you have two players like falling on each other. Like, I don't know, call offsetting and then just go.
Wow.
Big game on the line, that tends to happen.
Haley Alexander controls. Switching fields over to.
Yeah, Haley Alexander, she was an exceptional player as well. Really strong player for them. I think she was a 50-goal scorer 2 years in a row. Kiger, the lefty there, very good player as well.
Yeah, she was good.
They all kind of clicked, and that was Kiger to Alexander, and yeah, they had a good connection, and we knew it on defense in this game, but they exploited our zone really badly, and got good looks.
Is that Bill?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right now it's taking
Wow.
Oh, okay. Nice job.
Showing those basketball skills.
I'm like, here, Jenny, take it.
Yeah.
You're really nice.
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill.
That was your nickname when you were clearing it.
Yeah, man, I have so many nicknames.
18 to go.
I don't even know my name anymore.
Bull.
Bull, that's a new one. By Britt. Bull.
Yep.
Shot and a score.
Boom.
Nice, Ashy.
Ashton, you love that face dodge. That was like your bread and butter, the face dodge, sweep down the alley.
Yeah, but I couldn't explain to you how I do it. One day you tried to make me explain, I could not. I remember. I don't know why.
That shot too, that decreasing angle shot, you made like
Yeah.
75% of the time. Like that was your bread and butter right there.
Just close your eyes and hope for the best, coach. No, I'm kidding. I never did that.
I'm glad you didn't say that then.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been happy.
Now that's an angle a lot of people can't score from. You were really good at hitching and protecting your stick, covering it up.
I think honestly the key is just hiding it, because if they can't see it, then they have no clue where it's going.
Yeah.
So Ash, that's something you used to do on your free positions too. I mean, you looked right at the ref. You didn't even look at the cage, correct?
Yeah, because the cage never moves. I think we like always doubt our ability. Like we know exactly where it is. We know exactly how big it is. We shoot on it 100 times a day, you know? So I think you just got to trust. And if you watch the ref, the quicker you can get off the line, and then you have more time to decide where you want to shoot.
Some big passes there, moving the ball up the field.
Nice backside look.
Oh, man.
Good decision to sidestep that defense, pull it back out.
Mean Gene.
Shots on goal, not just shots. The shots on goal.
Amy Santarpio, we nicknamed her Mean Gene.
Not a lot of wide shots. You know, we've seen some off the post. We've seen some
off the pipe shot there.
The rest of them in the net. So the accuracy's been tremendous.
Parker Day in there. Parker's doing a good job. We've got a lot of different players in the game now. Kind of as the half gets later, we're trying to get some fresh legs out there. A little hitch dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Out of bounds.
Nice.
Jacksonville players there.
Yeah, Alyssa did a really nice job with her footwork this game. I know McGee has the ball now. I mean, that was a nice little.
Nice job.
I mean, the slide is so far there. No one even really hedged to come over.
Oh, she doesn't want that ball.
There's two girls on you. It's good bait, though. Draw the two over and then pass it.
Yeah, it is.
This is good. Not making it easy to get the ball up the field.
Crash and slide.
Oh,
and
nice.
There's the ball.
Jacksonville once again with a takeaway.
Genie again.
Genie with the cost turnover.
That's Santarpio. Covered by Wells.
Genie was a sophomore at the time. She's a senior this year. So getting some of our younger middies in the game.
Controlling the ball, controlling the tempo. And Ashton Lily playing quarterback out there.
Casey Stevens, another sophomore middie at the time.
Run, shot,
I like it.
Stick side high. You know, that wasn't a bad place to shoot. You know, if you could get the goalie down a little bit here, that high corner was open. I know you were trying to get that there. You weren't trying to shoot it in the stick.
McAvoy controls. 22 to go in the first half. Jacksonville on top of Coastal Carolina, 12-5. ASUN Women's Lacrosse.
Jacksonville, their backer defense.
I think we had our backer chasing ball here, and we probably should have had her just sitting in there. She chased a lot of ball, and that opened up some middle opportunities.
Cutters.
Yeah.
There's a cutter and a well-placed shot and a score. And Haley Alexander
There's
catch and a strong finish from about 5 yards out.
We're trying to pressure out, and sometimes when you try to pressure out, if you don't have the coverage behind, it leaves a big hole. And in that case, you know, again, Coastal's done a great job this half of finding that backside hole.
Mm-hmm.
Much about the off-ball player.
And they cut hard from the backside too.
This year, in 2018, I think we played like 95% zone. So we weren't going to change out of it. It was just our personality. And I think Coastal really had a good game plan to play against the zone, and they had figured out a couple of ways to beat it. And
players come. Not bad positioning by the
it was a
Jacksonville.
good job getting in front of our defender, and well played shot too. Bang, bang, goal. I think that was Haley Alexander again. Strong player.
Well, the Sixers are
somebody that everyone on defense should pay attention to. But when you're in a zone, you're not really looking at one player, so it's not as easy to keep track of a top player.
So Ashton and Lily, you guys were captains this year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you guys thinking as leaders? You know, championship game. How are you inspiring your team from a leadership standpoint?
Oh,
That's a big
I'm
deal.
trying to think back to what we did.
No, gosh, I feel like I remember nothing this year. I feel like we just try to make sure, like, during like times like these was like, it's obviously always, but during especially a championship game, it's team focused. Like, if you're not having a great day, find a way to, you know, help the team out in another way. If you're not having a shooting day, maybe you're assisting, but just trying to keep the focus on the team and getting a win.
Yeah, I think it's like controlling the hype because we came out so hard and fast, and then we had some lapses. So trying to be consistent. I think our bench is always so good at being energetic and supportive. And keeping that consistent, you know, transferring it onto the field as well.
We were actually in man-to-man there. I was surprised, but Britt must have switched us into man. And we played pretty good defense, and then the ball just kind of pops out and bounces right into number 30 stick. And, you know, she's that kind of player where she gets that gritty ground ball, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what just happened? And there it was. Good initial save, and then we didn't get the ground ball.
Yeah, Pullman came out and almost had an interception, which just lodged it, which was nice. So
Yeah.
that's something that we really enjoy about our goalkeepers is we like them to be active. She did a really nice job there. Initially, would have liked to have taken that goal back, of course.
Yeah.
Risk reward. Again, this is like a high octane, high scoring game. Like the offenses just seem to have one step on the defenses the whole time.
It's like McAvoy's out there now.
We went into the NCAA playoffs is the same thing. I think we scored 18 goals in the NCAA playoffs and lost the game. It was just an offensive type game.
Find their groove, see what's working best, or just keep it fresh. You know, don't let it.
Not been that long. It just feels like 3 minutes when we don't score feels like an eternity because you score every minute. You know.
Once again, approach the minute and a half mark.
But they've gotten a couple draws in a row. You know, they've got some good momentum going.
Yeah, it's important to get that possession off the draw after a goal against you, you know, to prevent those momentum shifts.
Like they're gonna work around, try to take some time off and put one in.
Yeah, we had scored 3 goals in less than 30 seconds earlier, and you make it seem so easy to score. And if you don't score at that clip, people start to get anxious about it. But that was a really good job there. The defense, you know, was able to make a stop. Ground ball. And now, you know, we want to get the last shot of this half. We want to try to figure out a way to score. We've got 45 seconds. It doesn't take that long to score, but we want to make sure that we get a good look at Cage here.
Well, that's a good jam on her hands defensively by Mackenzie Gork again.
And Madeline Bromley took that shot. She was also a very good player, all-conference player. Was always good against us. North Carolina girl. Yeah, down in 20 seconds. Drawing a lot of slides, moving the ball.
Sounds.
She gets a lot of attention. She
Oh, wow, that's
finds
impressive.
Olivia.
5 seconds left. What a great possession. I mean, that's
I
how
love
you
that goal.
half.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Costa really was going after our top scorers there. You know, you could see him like keying on Sarah. When Sarah got the ball, they were like, don't let her shoot it. And that opened up an opportunity for Olivia.
And that's what we always talk about with our depth. Like every player's important. So always look for the player that might not necessarily be being marked out.
Ashton with the ups there too.
I know. I was so excited for my little Finny.
It's always nice to have a lefty curling off of that right side wing, looking at the goal. You know, the righties can have a nice connection with that lefty, and it's a great opportunity for her to get between the pipes and take a nice shot. So good shot by Olivia.
So in the first 15 minutes, the score was we outscored them 8-3, but in the second 15 minutes, we only outscored them 5-4. So it's been a fairly even game. That's why Coach right now is she's like elbowing me on the sideline, like, oh my gosh, it's so close. And I'm like, well, I mean,
I always get a little anxious when we lose momentum. That was a good way to finish. It shows a lot of confidence.
Yeah, we almost got another shot off there at the end. But.
Lots of goals, tremendous goalie play.
Yeah, the neat thing is, aside from Ashton and Lily, possessing a lot of draw controls, you had Sarah Elms and Megan Prescott, 2 freshmen in this game, come up with a decent amount. Sarah had 4 in this first half, and then Megan came up with 2 as well, which was really nice.
Yeah, keep in mind that the last time we played them, we won 13-11 in the whole game, and it's now 13 in one half, which is a good start, I think, for all of us to go into the locker room.
Players are back out on the field, lined up for the second half draw.
We talked about at halftime that we wanted to come out and try to get a couple quick goals here and put the game away.
Draw controls. They had a little run there.
Our big rally cry was, let's not be complacent.
In good position with an early possession.
That was Tiger on the draw control. She has the most for them this game today. That's her 4th.
Coastal Carolina on offense. Coming out of that break. We talked about conditioning earlier in the game. Jacksonville had the ball on offense a lot. Usually can stay a little bit more rested on offense than defense. So Coastal Carolina laid a lot of defense in that first half.
Nice slide, Lily.
They scored
It was a good play. We weren't a natural man team, so going into man in the second half. I know we did man at the end of the first half, but that was a really good back cut and good ball movement by Coastal. And we never really recovered back from that initial jump.
Piece of those passes, they were zipping those passes around.
Again, like we were a zone team all year, but they had figured our zone out, so we went to man. We hadn't really worked on man that much this year. As in 2020, we were 50-50 man zone. We can play either one. But we were pretty good at the zone back then.
Good strong move to the middle, shielding her stick, and stick side finish.
Is that a decision you would change or keep if we could do it again?
I think after this year, we looked at our defense, and I think Coach Britt and Coach McCord and we just decided we were way too zone focused, and we decided that we wanted to do some different variations of things, at least so that we could be, good if a team figured out a zone. Nowadays everybody runs a zone, and teams figure zones out.
Yeah.
And, you got to be able to do something different. And this year, I think we probably played 75% man. It was we have some pretty solid man defenders now.
But we spent, I think, an entire fall, Ashton, working on those fundamentals.
On offense, here's Haley Kiger on the far side. It's Bush.
So now we're back in the zone.
Yep.
And again, we're just a little discombobulated in our coverages here.
Reacting a little slowly.
I think our backer is like not in the middle. She's roaming around the outside, and that definitely hurts when you're in a backer zone. Now, so Jenny Kinsey has a nickname, Giblet, and it's funny. Our goalie, Emily Palma, had played at JNU. And when she came, she had her own little verbiage, and one of them was turkey shots, where you shoot high to high in the goalie stick. And Jenny's freshman year, we gave her the nickname Giblet.
Yeah, it's stuck. I remember because the first half of this game, I had a turkey, and when we played them like earlier in the season, I had a turkey, and I remember CP was so mad at me, and I was like on the sideline in this game, and Coach McCord's like, just calm down, like you can do this. Like Alyssa we played Old Dominion the day before, and she was like, Alyssa had a rough day yesterday, but look at her now, like she's scoring so many goals. And then I think later in the game I had a goal, and I was like focusing so hard, I literally faked like 7 times. And I was like, because I was so upset about I was like, I always do this. And so then my goal, I was like faking so many times.
Isn't that cool? Like 2 years later, just to be more instinctual and
Yeah. Yeah. My freshman year, I think I had a good year, but it was definitely a learning year for me.
So now second half, Sarah Elms is starting to take off. She just, Ashton used the slide there, moved it over to Sarah, and they're playing a little two-man game. And Sarah really heats up in the second half. It's almost becomes like the Sarah Elms show. She just really takes control.
Nice little shimmy step, and then boom, mid cradle, just rifles it stick side high on one of the best goalies.
Honestly, the slide didn't even really come. That was all Sarah.
Yeah.
Wow. She has such a precise shot.
A little hitch, very similar to like a crossover dribble in basketball. You get your defender
Really?
shifting one way. You bring
Crossover dribble, you called it. I
Yeah.
like that.
True.
It's like Allen Iverson.
I mean, Lily and Jenny, didn't you guys play basketball like together?
Yeah.
We did.
Yo, show us that picture, Lily.
Back in the day.
Yeah, get that picture pulled up so we can show everyone.
I definitely have
Jenny in the day playing youth basketball.
Those were the best days.
And you played with Sully, right?
We were good. Our team was good.
Yeah.
ball did not extend above their heads. Is that
I like this angle because you can see that the sticks aren't straight down the line.
Yeah, nobody's toes are on the line. Like there's all rules that were broken.
I know.
That's why you probably really enjoyed when we did face-offs in practice and had like everybody on the ground, like with the sticks on the ground.
Yeah.
Again, Sarah Elms coming up with a draw. Draw's a foul, but I mean the kid's tenacious. She wants it.
Maybe we could consider her on the circle again, Britt.
Yeah, maybe.
We had talked about maybe next year, but this year, since she was just returning to play,
Yeah.
just letting her get back into the groove.
True.
Found the back of the net. So many different
But she was a huge asset, 100%.
Whoa.
All right, I found it.
All right.
Oh, there
check
it is.
it out.
Little Jenny, and then boop. Jenny was probably like 4 foot tall, and I was like, this poor girl's just gonna be small her whole life. And then boom, I see her a few years later, and she's towering over me. I was like, what did your family give you?
Got a late growth spurt.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Lily, free position here. What's your philosophy on free positions?
Oof, getting off the line quick, and I don't like to get too close to the goalie. Just getting off quick and firing it. I don't think I make this though.
Position, cradle shot just wide.
Aw, Lily.
Outside.
One-on-one.
Oh, this is mine.
Jenny!
12 times.
Jenny, what happened? Did you score? Yeah.
There it is. Woohoo!
There's the fakes. I'm lying.
No giblet turkey shot there.
Yeah. I was like, between the legs.
There you go.
Yeah, Giblet, one of the coolest things about you as a player that I've noticed over the past 3 years is we had been mentioning it earlier, but you're such a team player, and you playing the team system allows for you to score 11 points in a game because you're moving the ball, you're being fluid, you're following the game plan, and I think it's been really exceptional to see you grow into that leadership role and produce at such a high level.
Thank you.
Jenny, all freshman team too. Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, I think I love after this goal because you can see like Sarah like gives me the biggest hug, and she has had like so many goals this game, but like we're all just so like supportive of each other when I feel like not all teams are like that.
How many hours have we spent in front of goals working on this stuff?
Oh, a long time, especially this past year. I was always out there doing individuals.
Well, like since the 10th game of your sophomore year, you're shooting like 62% in your career since that time. So something definitely happened where you've got the shooting thing figured out.
Thanks. Yeah, I think after my freshman year, like how I sang earlier, like I had a good freshman year, but I knew I could do a lot more. So like that summer going into my sophomore year, I just like spent all my summer like on lacrosse, like fitness and my skills to like come back and really like play how I thought I was able to play.
And Ashton, you're from Australia, so you had a real big adjustment from that game to the American game. How did that help you evolve, and then playing in 2 World Cups and being an all-world team player?
It was really hard going from playing Australian style lacrosse to college style lacrosse because, I mean, in Australia we don't have as many people, so we play a more fluid game because everyone has to play every position. So I felt like I was like being put in a box because I was like, this is your role and this is what you got to do. And I remember I talked to you guys so much about it, I couldn't like figure it out. And Coach Paul said the same thing to me, Lily, because I walked somewhere in practice. And he was like, do they walk in practice in Australia? And I was like, yes, sir, they do. It's like, we don't walk here. I was like, oh, crap. But yeah, no, it helped me so much. I loved playing college lacrosse more than anything. And I loved going back home and sharing what I'd learned in America with my club teammates and, all the people that I'd grown up with. So
teammates maybe need to do a better job of showing and calling for it. You need to work to at least get that ball out into space somewhere. You have a numbers advantage.
Definitely. Sometimes I think it's a
This was a strong offensive team we had. I believe it.
open players.
Did it reset the scoring record? I think with this team, it holds the record for highest scoring offense of all time. And 16 goals in 25 minutes against a good defense is hard to do. We really needed to get the running clock so we could get the game over with, but we could never really get that 10 goals and finish the game out. So the game takes a lot longer.
This was like the 4-hour game. You guys remember that?
Yeah, it was long.
Felt long.
Because there were so many draw controls. I remember like at one point we looked at each other, we were like, man, this is a long game. Are they blowing every whistle?
I actually thought something was wrong with the clock because I'm like, they're just needling their way back into this game. How long have we been playing?
Yep.
Hours.
Yeah.
Well, we honestly don't have a plan to sit there with the ball and let the clock run out. Like we just don't practice that way. We won't play that way. And we don't have a sit there. Oh wow, Lily, that was awesome.
That was a nice play, Lilith. Look at that speed.
So fast you're making the screen blur.
So, Ashton, there's a good example of we talk about you're the number. I remember after your second World Cup, you came back to go, Coach, I was in the World Cup and I just heard you saying, you're the number, you're the number.
Yeah, it's funny when things click. Something that takes you so long and then in the moment you're like, this is what they mean. All that time when they've been saying that and I didn't get it. And now I get it.
For you guys watching at home, you don't know the inside story, but we use the term "you're the number" to teach our players not to pass the ball into an even number situation in a fast break. So if it's a 6-on-5 break, but you pass it up the field, it becomes a 5-on-5 break. So we use the term "you're the number" when someone has the ball, or carry, to let that player know to keep pushing the ball up the field with their legs.
Now, Ashton, are you thinking about playing in another World Cup?
Yeah, I'm training right now for it.
Okay, cool.
It's hard. I've never done it alone, but a lot of people before me have, so.
A lot of people are training alone these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like a lot of Australian players are scattered across the world. So I'm trying to draw on my teammates who have done it before to get that inspiration.
That's great.
And how many lacrosse players are in Alabama?
Not many. I coach high school girls lacrosse, and so I loved doing that, but I haven't seen them in like a month and a half. But yeah, we have a big like military community here, so a lot of girls come from Maryland or New York.
Oh, cool.
That's where a lot of our players are from, and then we have just some Alabamians that want to play, which is awesome.
Alabamians.
Ironic that one of my best friends from high school is a big lacrosse guy in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, I met him like the first month I was here.
Shout out to Paul Burke. He does a great job. He's really loves the community lacrosse angle. And we called a timeout here because we had been shoveling the ball around a lot, and we just needed to get the ball for a second and get our wits about us a little bit. We don't call a lot of timeouts because we like to keep the tempo going. Usually we call a timeout just to get everyone's stick settled down.
But in this game, you can score so quickly. So being able to refocus and, maintain our lead and keep pushing the pace is so important.
I could see them taking a
rematch of last 21 for.
This game feels like so long ago when it was only like 2 years.
That means you're growing up, Giblet.
Sad days.
LJ, how old were you at this game? You were 3.
You were 3.
3 years old.
Staff recognized that they were getting a little
You remember
frantic
watching
in the
this
player
game?
game.
Wait, this was the game that Pop and Uncle George watched him.
Oh, it is?
That's right. Yeah.
And everyone thought Uncle George was like a creep stealing your son.
He was so little, a little toddler.
precious time now.
A little nugget.
Called that timeout. The coaching staff recognized that they were getting a little frantic in the clearing game, maybe not communicating, and this is a chance for them to kind of settle it, get the ball into somebody you're confident.
Yeah, we had a really good clearing season this season. I think we cleared it like 90%, and we rode it really well. It was kind of a interesting year. So while our settle defense might not have been great, our transition defense was really good. And one of the consequences of running a high octane shoot the ball a lot offense is you're going to see probably more shots the other way too.
Those things add up.
The tempo of the game.
Number 6 on the
Now, Jenny, your hairstyle's a little different here than
Oh, yes.
this
I
year,
had the bun
correct?
working. Yeah, I usually go pony now. In this game, I had a bun. Mac Ellen would braid my hair she did 1, 2 here, and then 1 here for Braid Wars.
Yeah, those braids were always intense.
Some braids
Yeah.
All
there.
3 of you.
But-
All 3 of you always
Oh,
like
Coach
braids.
McCord's gone. I was about to say, the older you get, the less you win, Coach.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's so true.
I'm telling you, senior year, I had some of the best ones, and I got overlooked because I was
The
aging.
blondes always
Yeah, I
win.
was gonna say, or if you don't have blonde hair.
Yeah, you're right. Blondes always win.
If you're brunette, good luck.
Lauren always win because she's just
Coach has biases when it comes to braid wars. Alyssa and Sarah Elms always had such good ones.
Yours look good there, Ash.
Thanks. Not my best work, but
Yeah, kind of like cornrows going.
I got frizzies. Coach takes points off for frizzies, but I can't control them. Look, they're even here now.
I've learned from Hannah, who's in ROTC Marine. She's going to be a Marine. She says they're not frizzies; they're called flyaways.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I call them baby hairs.
You get demerits for them.
For what? ROTC?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're
Oh,
gonna
it's gone.
do a lot of burpees for them.
So they have so much hairspray. They
yeah, that's why Hannah's hair when she comes to speed training is like pink.
Yeah.
So aerodynamic.
She would go at like 5 a.m. and then be at speed training at like 6.
That girl is like a monster. Unstoppable.
Yeah, she does like 20 pull-ups. She can do the obstacle course in like a minute. It's amazing.
Bill, look at you up top being so scary.
I know.
Giant Bill.
Giant Bill.
Talk at the beginning of the game. I was confused.
Tell me everyone remembers the Billzilla graphic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good dodge.
And was like, we were crazy.
Really been impressive today.
Good dodge there. We played initial good contact defense, and then it looked like Jeannie got her feet caught up and just stopped her feet. And Megan Bush just ran down the middle and got a good shot off. You don't want to let people run down the middle of your defense. It's not always a good idea.
Digit scoring for Coastal Carolina. Our score is Jacksonville 17, Coastal Carolina 10. You're watching ASUN Women's Lacrosse Championship on ESPN+.
That definitely shows the
Oh, yeah. Working that back check. Oh.
Mackenzie was always so good at ground balls.
Yeah, she was. She had good stuff.
Amazing stick work.
My final game for Jacksonville tied the record for ASUN playoffs by a team shooting 47. Not sure if that probably the
Casey looks like, why'd you fall?
today.
Yeah.
Last check I had, they had 37. Still have 18 minutes to go. They've been a little more deliberate on offense.
Jackie on the crease.
Coastal Carolina. I know I'm a clock watcher. I don't know at what point they become. It's still only 7 goals though.
Only 7.
Mark is, it's a big number. But then you look and Coastal Carolina's managed to get double digits already. They showed the ability to create offense and score. There's Imbo, left-handed cradle.
Nice, Bill.
Imbo with a nice move to get to the middle. Shot and a score. Well placed. Sticky side.
Bill.
Got ducked. She went lefty on you and just did a little.
Ooh, Bill's not happy about that one.
Bill, talk us through that one. What was going through your head here?
Well, I had her when she went down the dodge, and then when she went back, she did the good old classic redodge, pull off space, and then get me. That was my number one thing that I always did. I would feel like so good on the pressure, and then I would release, and then got me. I love
you.
Bill, you're pinataing.
I know.
I think that's probably the first shot I've seen where Palma probably wishes she had another look at that, because it definitely, she had a good track on it and just missed it.
Yeah. No, that was a good dodge by her. She was a good person. Good.
ASUN all freshman team. I don't know if she's still on the roster or not, but she was a pretty solid player.
Yeah, she's good.
Wasn't this supposed to be like Coastal's last year in the ASUN?
They're moving to the SoCon next year, so there won't be another ASUN championship game again between our two programs.
Yeah.
Probably happy about that.
Yeah.
They might be excited. Whoa.
Oh, Lily.
Lily, you went with that one-handed with so much pride. I love it.
Oh, man.
Clobbered again.
Again.
They're coming after you now, Lil.
Oh, a slow-mo? Oh, no.
Oh, slow-mo clobber.
You see your face, you're like, no.
I'm like, dude.
Lily's like, here, you take it.
For that.
You take
I'm
it.
like, someone take this ball.
Put it down.
Hey, there's Mackie.
Mac Ellen, Israel All-Star.
Israel All-Star.
She is. She's on the Israeli national team.
Yeah, cool.
Baller.
There
Oh,
she is. Boom. Hey.
you found her right away.
I think Matt came in and had like 3 goals in this game.
Yeah. She did the same thing against Colorado. She came in and it was like, bam, bam.
And Mac's stick work. She had incredible stick work, Mac.
Stick between the legs goal against Colorado. It was like
Look at turnover chains. You can see them.
Oh my gosh, throwback.
Seconds into a possession.
Yeah, Jacksonville, they
Mac
slowed
just kind of
down.
wedges herself in here. Watch this. You'll see her just kind of sneak in. She wedges in and then boom.
Yeah.
And Alyssa was having a good game, so they were probably extra focused on her.
Oh, they were. Yeah.
You talk about laser passing. Alyssa Arnold.
All right, Lily, this is your draw control.
All right, 2 feet, Lily. Come on.
Pass, and she it was just a thing of beauty, and McDonough was there to catch it.
Well, you look tough.
Yeah, your hair looks good. Bun on fleek.
Oh, yeah, my bun did look good. That probably took 20 tries.
Yeah, you probably were in the bathroom.
Never the first.
Or a little bathroom back in the.
Oh, yeah. It was so hot.
Oh, Bruno's in.
Hey, Bernie.
We have a Bruno sighting.
Our front line.
Kristen Bruno Forte in goal.
Great to do that. And there's a feed to the backside. Oh, opportunity for Jacksonville. There was a whistle that came in. One of those opportunities where you hope for.
But what was really cool about Ashton and Lily as midfielders was they always evenly competed in the sense of their pace of play was always high. They were always running in stride with each other, which created a lot of opportunities in transition.
Wants that ball to go high.
Well, here's the thing. If Lily's going fast, then you have to go fast because you can't leave her on her own. Like, if someone comes to her, you've got to, like, be a step in front so she has a pass, and then she gets a step in front, and...
Oh, Ashton!
That wasn't me. Oh, yeah, it was.
Good sportsmanship.
God's helping her up.
It's not that Ashton stands for them.
You kind of touched her, and she went down like just easily.
Oh, we get a good replay of this one. Odd.
Watch Ashton stand up. What? I didn't do anything. What?
Just stare at her on the ground.
Totally.
Like, why'd you fall?
Oh, she's going.
Oh, why didn't she go? Whoa.
Yeah, she got a quick little.
We're late getting into the zones. Like you can just see, we're just not ourselves this day.
Carolina work on these long possessions.
What are you eating, Jenny?
I have my necklace in my mouth.
Oh, that's a nice fake. That was a good goal.
It's good. Another by Imbo, number 12, second lefty crease goal.
Didn't really too ball focused.
Yeah, the other thing in this set, the 3 low, Nina, the backer at the time, was handing off too much. She just needed to stay on her girl. So 3 low, play the 3 low, honor those kids. And then KYP, know your personnel, left-handed player.
Yeah.
Too much handing off between the defenders and the backer.
And nice job by Coastal Carolina to find the back of the net.
I think we studied this game and the Colorado game of this year and made a lot of changes going into 2019.
Every time you think Jackson pull away, Coastal Carolina just manages to get 1 or 2 more and keep this thing interesting.
We had a senior captain this year, and she got hurt, and she was probably our strongest overall defender, Emily Barton. And when she went down, it definitely hurt the overall defense, I think. And we had Ashton playing mainly attack. She was probably one of our top defenders. We had her playing like more attack midi than two-way midi, just so we could get more field time for Ashton.
Yeah.
Originally, we're going to award it to Jacksonville, and it's going to go back to Coastal Carolina.
Very strange.
Yeah, Emily was a tenacious player, super athletic, always had a smile on her face, especially when she was clearing the ball. She would just weave in and out of people. And she was tough, man. She played on a pretty rough injury. I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Yeah, no way.
Emily is the person you want on your team because she doesn't accept anything other than everyone's best and then more.
Yeah, it was pretty cool being able to see you guys at Hannah Wilcox's wedding.
Yeah, so fun.
Got a good angle there, and
So one of our players just got married, and it was like it was a former men's player marrying a former women's player. So it was a JU lacrosse wedding. It was kind of cool to see all the lacrosse people there.
So much love. It's also Hannah's birthday today.
Yeah.
Pass back to the middle. Wide open on the crease, shot and a score. That was a great team ball.
Those look very frustrated.
Bromley with the goal.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it was really set up by Haley Kiger. We haven't called her name quite a bit. Obviously, one of the most you want to get the ball on offense, whether that's off this draw or a good defensive stand or a save. It's just key.
Now, at this point in time, did we have Bruno and just Poma, right? No, Sharni. We had Sharni.
No, Sean was injured, I think.
Sean was injured, but she was on the team though, right? She was a junior.
Yeah.
Now she's junior. Yeah, wow.
She's a freshman, yeah. So she was, but she could. I don't think she could play at this point.
She was awesome this year, Ash. She would have really enjoyed seeing her, and she was spectacular.
No one could score on her.
She's a great little player.
Yeah, she was great. Oh, I got Parker taking the draw.
Third, and Bush comes up with it. How many times have we seen her?
Yeah, Bush did a really good job this game. Megan Bush for Coastal Carolina. She was a very gritty player. Ran into a lot of ground balls, possessed a lot of draws, super strong.
A lot of hustle, a lot of determination.
I remember this year because we had Emily Poma, who was a goalie for us, and she got injured, and Sharn, who was a goalie for us, she got injured. Everybody got injured, and Bruno, who was a goalie but had chosen to focus on nursing her junior year, was our filmer. We literally pulled her out of the stands and said, "Hey, you have to be a field player again." But we had tryouts. We had Noelle Parker, who was a shot put, all-conference shot putter. We put her in the goal for a game. We had the soccer goalie tryout. We had anybody who was athletic and who wanted to get in front of a lacrosse shot, we tried out.
Got the crease shot.
Oh, sneak on the crease.
He might have got a piece of that one.
I remember feeling at this score like we were letting them
Come back.
come back in, and
That's a quick goal.
Crazy how momentum can make you feel like you're losing when they get momentum.
Yeah, there's way too much movement within the zone. You can see everyone's going in, out, in, out. A big adjustment should have been just to, be at like a level 8, 10 and 8, and then you can soap out the dangerous players.
Yeah, everyone's trying to.
In a four goal game, like they know that they have a chance here.
Yeah, and Coastal was known for being super, super aggressive, and they could put the ball in the back of the net, as you can see.
Sophie Crowther catches it.
What is the adjustment that they made for the laps that we were having that allowed this kind of creep back to closer?
Jacksonville.
Well, they've gotten the past 3 draw controls.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a draw in a while.
So, when they get the possession, they're taking it over the restraining line, they're making it count. That would be one of the lapses. Then again, too, I would say defensively, we're overextending and within our zones, and we're forcing people to do the job that we should be doing ourselves. But I would say those 2 things from my perspective.
I feel that Hiram is a little stronger on the ground balls if it comes to that. They do pull it
Nice
toward
box
Hiram.
out, Ashton.
That was really great, Ash.
Mhm.
One thing, Kyron, I
That
think
was a big possession.
Woo, look at that pass.
boxes out for opponent.
Ashton had a really good creative way of expressing herself on the field. It was fun to watch.
Have her taking
Yeah,
those
Mac, look at that.
when it turns into a
Coach.
ball out on that circle on the perimeter. She does such a good job of picking it up. I think the value proposition is let's get her where she's going to be most effective. Important 3 position. Goalie's crouch. Jacksonville pulls it out.
Smart play by Mac there.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, that was shooting space.
Ashton, you were so poised when they sent double teams to you.
Cut off the adjacent.
Great footwork to pull out of the pressure.
They went into a zone.
Mhm.
Yeah, they did.
Lily
Wow.
skirt.
There's a feed to
We're
the
pretty
backside
good
wide
at
open.
the
1-2
zone.
fake the goal.
Nice, man.
Ooh, Mackie again.
That was
Good
great
fake.
patience and ball movement.
If you notice on Mac's last 2 goals, her shoulders are completely square to the cage. And she does a really good job of, throwing a quick hitch in or a nice, fake, 2 fakes, and then puts it in the back of the net. But I think the biggest key for her was she got her shoulders square and wasn't afraid to put some power behind it.
What I love about that possession was, when we were letting them back in a game, potentially, we get that draw and we capitalize off of it. And Matt came in off the bench, super confident, ready to do that.
Mac's kind of that zone buster. She's a zone buster that if there's a zone, she'll find an opening in the zone and be open for a look. And once she catches the ball inside, it's going to be in the net.
Yeah.
Not everybody's that patient when they cut. Some people against zones, they cut so much, you're like, stop cutting, you're wide open. But Mac knows how to get wide open against the zone. Her hands are unbelievable. McDonough.
Yeah, McKellen can read her defenders really well and know where her attackers want to drive and cut smart to be in a advantageous place.
So we've already set the record for scoring in an ASUN game between the 2 teams, but I hate to tell the people who do the records that there's 11 more goals still to come.
It's hard to believe.
Hard to believe.
Day comes up with it.
Parker
Yes,
did
Parker.
a job there.
Nice little quick pass.
Into the offensive end.
Hard to
Okay, Jeannie.
Tap the ball. Gets the goal.
Oh,
Shot.
that in 12 minutes, 11 more goals are going to be scored.
can already tell our offense is way more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice little back.
And they're kind of coming out to pressure, and there's not much. You can't really sit there, so you move the ball.
Yeah, good ball movement.
Ellen and Ashton, you guys are creating a lot in the middle, which is giving openings when we pass the ball well to the backside.
Although Hiron shot stick side Steve.
Oh, yikes.
Good thing you got fouled, Ash. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh.
I think I'm just tired.
Great effort there on that shot. Barrett made a nice save.
That was a pretty good possession. Just, nice interception.
Nice. Yes. This is what I like to see at the end of a game.
At a far side opportunity.
Jamie with another cross turnover.
Back down low through a stick and it's deflected.
Woo.
Yeah, looks like she could have taken that right alley.
Jimmer waiting to get in. Put me in, coach.
The refs like calm down, Jimmer.
Yeah. I remember I think they were like really strict about the box that game. Like staring you down as you go in.
Barrett in goal. Crouch, trying to explode.
Parker with the ball, and we were trying to kill the time, so we pulled out of it.
Oh.
We got a good look there. And
That was so nice.
Yeah, it was sick.
Wide open.
Big
Look at
smile.
those.
That was Bowser. CP, that was Bowser.
Little big, maybe two, but there was just so much time. You're hung out to dry. And she's such a good finisher. Respect that you need to make her. She's got great positioning.
You guys did such a good job moving the ball. Very proud of you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hiron. Putting the team on her back here.
Ashton's other hashtag back in the day was Aussie Ash.
Aussie Ash.
Honestly, if you still click on it on Instagram, it's still all me.
Oh, yeah. That
It's
was
weird.
sweet.
Lily, what were your nicknames?
I never really had
White
nicknames.
Lightning.
I lucked out.
Lil
Robin was
Lil.
like the only one.
Lilith.
Lilith.
Lilith, that's true.
White. Didn't people call you White Lightning for a little?
Oh yeah, I think that was like a day or two.
That was Coach Paul.
I did not. That is not me.
White lightning. I forgot about that.
She's fast and she's wide. Is this?
Had a song for Lily.
Oh yeah.
Do the Lily Miller and split it right.
Oh yeah, do the Miller.
Yeah.
Do the Lily Miller and split it right.
I don't remember the rest of it.
Yeah, you can't make it out of our team without having a nickname through the years.
No.
Or 20 if you're Bill.
I think we just sung Do the Lily Miller and split it right over and over again in different tones.
Yeah, we would just like scream it.
Right out of the gates.
All right, we got a Jenny Kinsey sighting. She made it on.
Yes. Before the goal.
Yep. You got the ball.
Back it up, Jimmers.
Somewhere. Where am I? In the corner.
Maybe look at CP. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I think we were spreading out just to.
Oh, that's probably what this was.
We're using the cloud. We're in 61 here. We're spread out, and they're playing.
Ashton's being marked out.
And there's the move, and there's whoop. And there's
Mackie.
She's so chill. She's like, yeah, that's shooting space. Get out.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, they're back to marking out Ash, but in that case, what a great job by Sarah as a freshman. Sarah draws the help and then finds the open player.
You know, if you take it, you got to put it in your left. If there's a defender there on your right-hand side, which there was, one of the Coastal's best defenders, so she could have taken it and cut the angle of the left, but she chose to pass it.
Do the Lily Miller, split it right. Do the Lily.
Yeah. Good look.
Yeah, that was pretty. Look at that.
No second slide because they're marking you out, Ash. So there's no second slide on the crease.
That was Arnold again.
Yeah, Alyssa.
Wow, Parker looks like a baby.
Yeah.
Her hair's so long and blonde.
Exhausting for Barrett. I mean, she's played a good game, but she's seeing so many shots right now. And a lot of
Alumni, I feel like you guys will appreciate this. Sometimes I run stadiums with like my work friends and it's so silent I can't like not cheer. And I'd be like, here we go, Jordan, let's go, Maddie. Like, be like what?
What the heck is she
Yeah,
doing?
I can't like work. I can't do that in silence. I feel like I need to like get my teammates going, and then no one else does it, so I have to stop after a while. But
You're like, family on 3. You're like, what?
Core value.
Get a wrap off.
Yeah, you're like, core value number 1.
Ashton, explain to the people watching why that's interesting.
Why cheering on your teammates is interesting? I don't know.
When you're running by yourself.
Oh, because I mean, I've grown up, everything I did was in a team sport. So like the fun part is that, you know, it's hard, but you have like 30 people or 15 people doing it with you. And now when you do it on your own, you're like, I don't know, you miss that camaraderie. I feel like that's the best part of sports is that it's hard, but you have people to like suffer with you.
Right. 21-14 is like a football game.
Giving help to the middle when Tiger tries to sweep back to the left. So a good scout.
Oh, we have Eileen in, guys.
Yeah.
Playing to the scout. There she is to the left hand underneath, and check comes in. She took that shot.
That was nice.
Jeannie again. Jeannie with another cause turnover.
Good spot.
Who's that with the speed?
Offensive end.
Wild Bill.
Give and go. Shot and a score.
Oh,
Very nice.
that was beautiful.
That's my favorite kind of scoring, run and gun.
Parker Day with the assist there, dropping a dime.
While they're showing this, I'll highlight, this is our championship ring
Gets the goal. So on that Sarah Helms
from
goal,
2018, one of my favorite ones. It's a band.
9:26
Yeah,
to go.
that's pretty.
I like that one too.
That one.
ASUN Women's Lacrosse Championship on ESPN Plus. Draws won by Tiger and Carolina, racing into the offensive end.
Oh.
Nice ground ball. Nice
We're
possession.
really out of our minds on defense here. And they were playing so hard to try to get back in the game.
Back to her left. Little hitch feed to cut her down low. Shot and a score.
That was a nice look.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, they're very tenacious.
That was number 37 on the goal, Bailey O'Brien.
I don't know
Bailey
Bailey O'Brien
Strong
played beyond
possession.
the season, but
Ball movement.
she
Strong
had a good game
side
here.
for Bailey O'Brien. Coastal Carolina's been able to create offense when they have the ball. Just trying to get that ball. See the cut right down there. Good defense.
Just get underneath our defender on that elbow, and she's thinking of the player on the outside instead of focusing on the player that's on the inside cutting, and that seemed to happen quite a bit here.
O'Brien's plan. She backed up a little.
But and this is where coach is elbowing me, talking about how close the game is. I'm like, it is 7 goals. She's like, you got to do something. I'm like, what? We just need the draw, and then we can kill some clock out. But we're up by 7. There's 9 minutes left. I don't think they're going to score 8. But
I don't put it past a team because we've done that to teams and
They've done it to us.
to us.
Good off-ball play as well.
yeah, I know. That's like bias. Like this is a new game. It's a different game. It's not,
But it can be done. I
prior
think
game.
that's the fun thing about lacrosse and the worst thing about it when you're coaching it.
Is that you have PTSD from prior game.
Probably.
I love these games. I love just the scoring. Like to me, it's like that's our kind of game. Like let's just keep scoring. Let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to have 25 goals in a championship game.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about.
Well, who scores 19 goals and loses?
So something that was cool before this possession was we actually won the draw, but we turned it over on offense, which could have gave us some time to utilize our possession clock. But we turned it over pretty quick, and now Coastal's down here on a free position, look at the cage right now.
It was an odd because we usually didn't turn the ball over this game.
Coastal Carolina likes to pass off those
Oh, here we go.
Oh, but flying Hiron.
Put flying Hiron on defense because we're like, we need a charge. Put Ozzy Ash back there.
just keeping up with her stride for stride. I was waiting for Hiron to separate, and you just saw the
We
long
hold the ball for a little bit here and take the air out of the ball.
stride for stride and showing that stick.
They're coming out to get us, so it's hard to like just stand there with the ball in there.
Yeah.
Hiron, that was number 31 for Jackson.
We turned it over again. Oh, but then we got run over.
Got another collision on the far
Is that
side.
Meg's second charge?
Megan Prescott
I
missed the
don't think they called it.
combination of
Oh,
aggressive play
man.
and fatigue setting in here.
Meg, that was a thing of beauty, Meg, if you're watching. Great job. Keep taking those charges, Meg.
He's a gritty player. He'd go for any ball.
She had the game-winning goal, like her first or second game against Ohio State.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah.
We have a really great lacrosse facility, and there's a big picture of that right before you walk in the locker room.
Awesome.
There's Bill. All right, Bill. Good job.
Yeah, Megan's small in stature, but she'll run through anything. She took some of like the biggest hits ever this year.
She got trucked.
There's another feed down low, turn, shot, and a score. What a great
Man,
catch.
37. 37, man. She really hurt us this game. And I don't know if she played after this year. I think she was a freshman or sophomore, but she was definitely a player that had a career game against us here.
Yeah.
She looks like she's hurting that one. She's like,
Aren't we all ill?
People are pulling muscles shooting the ball so much. Look how open she is. Goodness.
Caught it high to the outside, shot near.
Bill was out back having a smoke break.
I think that was Mackenzie.
Yeah.
She was still dreaming of her charge from the first half.
I love Chloe whenever we get scored on, stands there and just stares for a good 5 seconds before she moves.
There's a breath.
What's wrong with 13?
She always says that.
Pulled a muscle. That was like her 50th shot, I think. Stretch me out.
We got some good players. I got to give it to them.
Oh, yeah.
This was a good team.
That's only happened a couple of times here today.
6-goal game, 7 minutes to go. And we found the draw. Uh-oh. I'm telling you, sometimes coach will stalk me on the sideline, and this time she's like, elbow me. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Like, continue playing?
Liv Rosnan.
Yeah, Livy.
So many weapons for
So now we have 2 backers in the game.
Who?
You have both.
Yeah, this is like.
Yes, Olivia!
And they got a goal off a ground ball because no one picked it up.
Dang.
Oh, I think this is where you look down the sideline at me, Coach Britt, and you're like,
Yeah, I think I said, I need help.
I forget what that defense was called with the 2 backers.
Mole.
We didn't have Mole in this at this time.
Mole didn't exist then.
Didn't
Oh.
exist.
Didn't we just call it USA?
I think we just had Chloe out and we put in Nina. We were like now changing players. Like you go in, you go in, you go in.
We've seen a couple of opportunistic goals.
I remember.
People call them garbage goals, but we've seen a couple of opportunistic goals where Coastal Carolina players just been alert, aware, and able to pick it up in traffic. Quick shot.
Coach, I was talking about how you would stalk me on the sideline. You would be like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? They're coming back. And I'm like, it's a 5-goal game, 6 minutes left. It's a, let's just.
Hey,
keep
we
playing.
can score many goals in a short amount of time. I don't put it past people.
I think you asked me if we should call a timeout, and I'm like, oh, please don't call a timeout.
The game was already so long. But look at these guys. Look at them scrapping.
Damn, what a hustle play.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashton worked hard to get the ball, and then she got triple teamed.
No, that was Parker.
Yeah.
Was that Parker?
Mm-hmm. Parker Day.
Yep. There's 37 again.
Alexander. Feed to the crease.
Coastal's a tough team.
Hey, good knockdown by.
That was a really good play from our goalie.
So Ryan works it back behind. Robinson, feed to the backside, shot and a score.
Oh man, the backside was crushing us.
It just cut straight between the 2 threes.
Yeah.
I remember that we couldn't stop that. I remember Britt us being like, what is happening to our defense on the backside?
We did make an adjustment here. We made an adjustment.
How exhausting it is.
That was the hard part. Like when you guys came to me and you're like, oh, what do you think? And I'm like, well,
Themselves on defense.
we made a little adjustment on the defensive end here.
What did we end up doing?
Yeah, if you're playing fast
Well,
offense.
I think we tried to keep the ball on one side of the field
Yeah, that
because
was
the
it.
ball was moving all over the place, high to low and low to high, and people were handing everybody off low to high, high to low. And,
It does become
you know, like just let's focus on pressuring the ball, getting out, and keeping the ball on one particular
not a
side.
lot of statements here in the second
And for the last 5 minutes, I think we did that, held them to a goal, which doesn't sound like a great total when you have 5 minutes and you give up a goal, but it's better than giving up like 4 goals in 5 minutes.
Well,
Beats the alternative. And we needed the draw, I think, and we got it. We
again,
get it. Oh, they got a foul. Oh no.
right. I remember this, right? Because they were in a 4-goal game here with us.
Yeah.
And they got possession. Like they did have an opportunity to come back into this game multiple times now,
Yeah,
Coach.
I don't know. 4
Yeah.
goals with 5 minutes left is not exactly like super close. I mean, it's if we get the ball, need 2 possessions really to kill the game out.
But if we don't get the ball and they score, that's how that momentum shifts.
Yeah, you're right.
And then right there, we lose our leverage.
So a dominant
That's
left-hand
my
player. I think that's
prime example of why I was elbowing you.
Feel your face just then.
playing with.
We're overextending and coming up the fields. At that point, get in.
So anybody knows in the game of lacrosse, when you're in 3 goals between a score, it's anybody's game.
2 seed in this tournament. You see right down.
That was a
here,
cute comment.
Ryan with his shot.
That was a nice shot. Just drops it low.
Jordan Carroll
Hits like.
Oh, wow.
initially batted down, but
The
opportunities.
opponent's out, man.
I give them a lot of credit. Like they always were fighting hard.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
they never stop.
when a particular unit loses confidence, and I don't think either defense on either team has any confidence right now, then the offense is going to smell blood and they're going to score unless they shoot poorly. And neither team is shooting poorly; they're all shooting well.
Assist, the same player that scored made the assist the second time.
Yeah, it definitely makes it tough for a defense to really pick out those.
Oh, they're doing a stick check?
Yeah, we did a check.
Yep.
Let's get
That
that.
that was a good call.
Yeah, back then stick checks were kind of strategic. Now not.
Regulation.
So good, we got the draw, and now we're a couple possessions away from killing the game out.
Let Jacksonville possess the ball.
Now this was important to take some time.
I don't know that we do, but yeah.
Well, not if we score 3 more goals, probably not.
We're spread out, and again, it's
That might have been the shot we saw taken.
we pulled the shot away there. I think with 30 seconds, we probably gave a green light.
Just hanging that stick a little bit. Good defense. Good
Whoa, Lily. So we gave up possession there on a back check.
Jacksonville looks like they're not as crisp as we
This team played in a lot more closer
was just a little lackadaisical.
games than maybe the program is used to, especially of late. But like, how do you, when you're playing a close game in between a bunch where it's lopsided, how do you get there, get the minds right to play in these type of situations?
Well, I think you practice situational awareness, and you rely on your player. You put them in situations where they can be successful. But the players in this type of game, the players have to win the game. It's not you're not going to outcoach anybody. So, fortunately for us, we turned it over. They turned it over. We've got the mirror neurons working here, and then we almost turned it over again there. That was a good intentional miss there by Ashton to kind of keep the clock rolling.
Intentional? We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Shoot higher.
Desperation pass.
Yeah, Meg was getting beat up again.
It was a good attempt out of Coastal Carolina, but Jacksonville is going to get an opportunity to keep possession. Good left-handed move to the front. Shot and a score. So Jacksonville stops the bleeding.
With Alyssa, right?
Yeah.
It is Alyssa Arnold once again.
That was a great one-on-one move. We pulled them out. They're pressuring us, trying to get possession back, and that was smart play.
Yeah, I think we decided to go with the green light look there because it was so open. You just have to take it.
And this team typically doesn't overextend themselves.
No.
They pack it in, and maybe they should have done that for a little longer.
Yeah, when you're down by 3 with 3.5 minutes, you don't have to come out because the offense will have to eventually come to you.
Right.
So it just depends on how fast you think. I guess they were doubting their ability to score 3, so they came in.
And that's good for us to be able to see our matchups and exploit that.
Score just off the inbounds with a
And
good
we've got a lot of stick side high against this goalie because we had found that to be a good place to shoot on her. And then now we've got her, thinking about that spot. And Alyssa does a great job of faking off that spot and coming back to her low weak side.
And look who's taking the draw here.
Hey, Jenny.
Little Jenny Kinsey action. Let's see what happens.
Every now and then. I did not remember taking a draw this game.
Jenny, you must have won braid wars that day. Your braids looking very good.
I know, right? Oh, let's see. Dang.
No.
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 I don't remember even taking a draw in this game. That's so crazy.
Playing defense, Jenny.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Midi Jimmers.
Okay.
Wow. I'm surprised we won that one.
As a midi. We recruited her as a midi.
Yeah.
I ran down too.
Good defense.
You just play attack now, Giblet?
Yep. Is that you,
Yep.
Bill? Yeah, Bill. That was good D.
Thanks. I remember that.
Homa.
She was really good. So I was like,
that.
Wow, we got fortunate there.
And also, we only had 6 players on the field.
Yeah.
Our D midi was getting off or coming on a little late.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was super lucky there. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
yeah, her foot was waiting.
She was in.
Well, Bill, when there's a good time here when we're finishing out this game, tell everyone what you've been doing since you've graduated.
I'm now the graduate assistant for the team, so I'm sticking around. I did this year, and it kind of got cut short, which is unfortunate, but I still got one more year, so still learning and developing and getting my master's while I help do admin stuff, help recruit, whatever it is coaches need to do. So
it's a Matt Callan hat trick right there. Again, like getting chased around, and it's almost not healthy for you to stand with the ball when people are coming after you swinging. So you got to keep the ball moving. And in this case, it was a really good look to find McAllen again open against a zone that's rotated.
Yeah, hopefully they'll show the replay. It was a good roll. I think she had a thunder.
A very patient shot by McAllen here.
May not score the goal, but it's one less defender to help
Mac
with.
had like the best hands on the team.
Yeah, she was really good on this team.
Pass. Good,
Great.
strong little hitch move.
That was a different play earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's most goals in a single tournament game. Previous record was 23. Jacksonville back in 2013 against Kennesaw State. And this barrage, 24 goals with a minute 25 to go in the game.
It's good patience.
I'm pretty sure that this game it's an NCAA record for most goals in a conference championship game.
Jibs.
Not just a great team, a special goalie as well.
Oh.
Who's going to get
Bill?
this?
Bill? Bill?
Hey.
Oh, no.
Wow, look at that outlet.
Thank
Oh.
Oh, good catch, Ash.
Strong, Bill.
You could always Hail Mary it to Ash. You know she'd make the catch.
I just throw it at her knees and she catches.
Casey Stevens with the ball. Back to Mac. No one's covering Mac, so she's.
Space.
Jacksonville has the opportunity to play a little bit of keep away. Ashton Hiron penetrating one-on-one with the goalie. Shot.
Whoa.
Very nice. And that's the game.
Wow. Okay.
All she wrote.
That was a great finish in those last 3 goals in how many minutes? 3 minutes?
JU Dolphins.
3 goals in the final minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
Bring out the t-shirts.
Yeah. Champions spring. What number is this one? I'm not sure, but
Let's see, 20,
totals per game.
2018, so that would have been 7th ring.
This late in the game on a hot game.
That's one of my favorite rings.
team.
Here we go. Look at the speed and separation.
Great stick protection. Good fake.
She threw that little fake just enough to hold the goalie. Watch, right before the ball is released, she just kind of cradles it back across her face right there. Got the goalie hopping. That was a great replay of just a little deception
Look at how to score.
in the world.
Yeah.
Got to get that goalie moving.
Dribble it.
Maybe number 3.
19, Jacksonville on top, playing for the trophy.
I don't even take the draw like this anymore.
No, Jenny, you're an opener.
Yeah.
There's Tiger again with the draw control. A good box out from Haley.
That girl was strong. She beat me good on the draw.
Did we get a charge there or we got run over? No.
Yeah, someone got trucked.
Annihilated.
Tiger has worked
Oh, Tyga or whatever her name was.
throughout this game.
Tiger.
Tyga.
Well, they're very aggressive with their.
Hopefully there's subtitles so we can see Ashton's pronunciations of tiger.
Watch. I just like watching her style.
I bet it would be correct.
So 38 seconds to go, 6-goal lead. Coach is over on the sideline going, what are we going to do?
No, I'm not.
I'm like, don't worry, they'll throw it out of bounds right now.
I felt that after we got the draw and scored 3 more goals.
Got to that point where
Look at Mackenzie go.
Damn.
Yeah, about time. I'm just kidding.
Sometimes you did have to tell Mackenzie to run because you like to make those long passes.
Oh yeah, she wants to get rid of it.
She's good at those long
She was
passes.
such a good clearer. She had such good stick skills.
Yeah, she really did.
And that's it.
Yeah, woo!
Look at that. Everybody running onto the field.
With the Kool-Aid on Coach.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps.
That's like the best feeling.
I can't say enough about Coastal Carolina.
I got a couple more gray hairs that day. You guys made that way too close and competitive.
It's a good thing that you can get your hair colored, though. That
I think the game last
Yeah.
that you probably got a lot of gray hair.
The year you were sick? Uh-huh, I did.
The
No,
Liberty
the Liberty Championship game was even closer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even have words.
You got a few
Yeah.
wrinkles.
The best is I still have a video of Jenny, and in the video she looks at me. She's hugging Noah, and she's like, "I don't know why I can't stop crying."
I was just so like that game was so fun because it was such a hard game. Like I felt like we just earned it so much.